All right, welcome back to episode 2 of As a Former History Major, where I explore niche history topics you've probably never heard of. I'm your host, Kendall. It's October, it's spooky season, and I decorated. Now let's talk about monsters. Well, more specifically, monsters made up by some Roman guy who made the first ancient encyclopedia.
Oh my God, bro.
But still monsters. So, first of all, we have to talk about Pliny the Elder. I think that's how you say his name. Who is Pliny the Elder?
Gaius Plinius Secundus, aka Pliny the Elder, was a Roman writer, naturalist, and military commander born in 23 CE. He lived during a time when the Roman Empire was, taking over literally everything.
Pliny was all about gathering information about the known world. He wrote about animals, plants, geography, even monsters. He's also known for famously dying in the Mount Vesuvius eruption in Pompeii because he was too curious about what a volcano was to actually run away from the volcano. Pliny's Natural History is the Roman equivalent of a modern-day encyclopedia. It is the largest work to have survived all the way from the Roman Empire, and he compiled all sorts of works from other Greek and Roman authors.
It's 37 volumes comprised of many chapters full of random facts about the natural world, which means it covers everything from the medicinal use of cabbage to the location of monsters around the world known by Romans. This book was the go-to guide for centuries, and people treated it as such, all the way up until the early Middle Ages. We will be primarily reviewing Book 7, Man, His Birth, His Organization, and the Invention of Arts, and Chapter 2 within it, The Wonderful Forms of Different Nations. Pliny's work frequently reflects the Rome's imperial expansion, which brought new and exciting things to the capital, like exotic Eastern spices, strange animals to be put on display or herded into the arena, even the alleged phoenix that was sent to the Emperor Claudius in 47 AD.
What the hell?
Nature's variety and versatility were claimed to be infinite by Pliny. He says, "When I have observed nature, she has always induced me to deem no statement about her incredible." Now, this led him to recount rumors of strange peoples and societies that he had seen or heard of all around the world. This is not entirely told as fact, and we, as modern readers, need to remember that monstrosities and mythical creatures are often reflecting something misunderstood or unfamiliar or foreign to the culture that writes it. Throughout history, these monsters usually symbolize what people didn't understand, projecting their fears or biases onto the unknown. And most mythical creatures, whether they're well known or not, are a reflection of that, even in today's society. Anyway, all of that to say, we can dive into the creatures that Pliny talks about in this text. First up are the monocoli, also known as skyopods.
So these guys live in the hot deserts of India, and they only have one giant leg and run around at astonishing speeds. I guess hop around? When it gets hot outside, they shade themselves with their giant foot.
They are apparently right down the road from troglodytes, or belemi, and these are a race of headless creatures whose face sits on their chest. Then there are the cynocephali, or dog-headed people.
According to Pliny, these dog-human hybrids were also found in India and used their sharp teeth and fingernails to hunt animals.
This idea of dog-headed humans was spread around so much in the ancient and early medieval world that it even went on to affect Eastern Orthodox Christian tales of Saint Christopher, which is a story that I'm going to cover in my next video. Antipodes, or nuli, are backwards-feeted people who only have 8 toes on each foot. They are located also in India. Everyone is from India. I don't get it. Every single monster has been from India so far in this video. While crossing the Carpathian Mountains, an island sits at the edge of the Baltic Sea, which holds 3 different kinds of creatures on it.
There are hippopods, men with horse feet. There are pinati, men with giant ears who use them to wrap up as blankets in the chilly night. And ione, who are just guys who only eat oats. That's it. They just only eat oats and nothing else, and therefore they are a monster.
The pygmies were a race of tiny, dark-skinned people standing just over a foot tall. Pliny said that they lived near the Nile and spent most of their time riding goats into battle against giant birds. And then they had annual wars with these birds that would last 3 months at a time.
The story goes that in the springtime, the entire troop, armed with arrows and riding on rams and she-goats, goes down to the sea and eats the crane's eggs and chicks during a foray that lasts 3 months, that otherwise they could not protect themselves against the flocks to come, and that their houses are built of mud, feathers, and eggshells. This fresco art piece was found in the ruins of Pompeii.
Meaning that Pliny's tale of pygmies, it was not the first time being told. He was just writing it down, and it was so popular that someone just had it painted on their wall. That's like having an Interstellar poster up in your apartment room and just Christopher Nolan being down the street, and then we all just die from an asteroid attack. Kind of.
Wait.
Gorgats lived off the Atlantic coast of Africa, and they were a group of women whose entire bodies were covered in hair.
Hey, yo, what the?
I have too many jokes to say about that, so I'm just not going to say any of them.
Pliny retells the story of a Carthaginian general named Hanno, who might be the famous Hannibal, who skinned 2 of the hairy women and brought their proof of existence to the temple of Juno in Rome for sacrifice.
Alright, that was about as many creatures as I could fit into one video without actually losing my mind. So if you are interested in reading Pliny the Elder's natural history for yourself, I am going to link it down below in the bio. And remember, if I got anything wrong, it's not my fault, it's Pliny the Elder's. And I'm also just a former history major. Stay tuned for my next video where I'm going to be talking about my favorite manuscript, which has all sorts of monstrous themes for October and Halloween. It goes all the way from Beowulf to a dog-headed saint. Bye!